the guidelines, the conventions that I want to go over in the next several days, weeks, couple of weeks, is those that trip us up as coders, those that cause problems along the way. I want you to make notes. I want you to understand what to look for when you're coding and you're not quite sure that you're in the right place. So the first thing I want you to pay attention to is remember our ICD guidelines. They are effective from October to the end of September. So October the 1st, we will have new guidelines. They will not all be updated, but there will be a few and enough to make a difference in our profession. So I want you to make sure that when you're looking at guidelines, October the 1st, that you're looking at the updated guidelines. Now, I know that you know where to find them and find a code, but what I want you to also know is where to find them on the web. And I'm going to email this address to you both, because in Find a Code, when you're actually sitting and working at your job, you may do a split screen, just like I've done here, where you have Find a Code, and then you have your work, your chart that you're coding for your employer. That's not going to give any room for your guidelines. But you can open up another tab on your computer and go to this website and actually pull them up. See, I pulled them up so that I can keep them in the background. I still have my chart. I still have my Find a Code, but I can put them right over here to refer to when I'm not sure about something. So the other question is, a lot of students ask, do I need to memorize? Please don't even try. Please only try to remember them, not memorize them. There is a difference, because memorization, when they change next year, you've got to rememorize. So be very careful. Be aware of where to find them. Be aware of what they say. Do not think you have to put the exercise into place that you've got to remember each one of these, because that's not the case. And then we've already gone over when these guidelines are effective. So remember, October the 1st, you will be on your new job, and you will need to make sure that you're referring to guidelines. Now, I will go ahead and commit to I want to do an update on the guidelines for our students. So we want to be sure that we stay on top of that. And just today, we're going to be looking at conventions, and we're not looking at all of them. We know that the guidelines themselves are 115 pages. So we're not covering 100%. We're covering what is most often a problem for coders in our profession. All right, so we want to remember that the conventions, the general guidelines, and those chapter-specific guidelines, they apply to all healthcare settings. So regardless of where you're going to be employed, those three things, the conventions, the guidelines, the chapter-specific, are applicable to your employment. So you will definitely want to pay attention and make sure that you understand each of these.